Yeah, fellas, welcome to the show. Got a message from a fella. He wrote, just giving a shout out to you. Wanted to sincerely thank you for your videos. I don't know whether it means much to you or not, and that's where I had have to interject. And then I said back to him, "You don't know if it means much to me." Oh man, you have no idea. And that's true. He has no idea. No idea. If we look at it from just a purely selfish point of view, take out life purpose, because I'm working my life purpose by teaching. Take out passion, because I'm passionate about what I do. That's why I rant on my fellows. That's why I get all upset. That's why, I throw fits and shit. On my site, I have guys do 50 push-ups when they fuck up. I guess you guys have probably never heard my my correction podcast shows where I'm talking to one person about one person. It's because I care. Okay? So if we just take that out of it and look at it just from a purely selfish, self-centered point of view, just ignore the life purpose and life passion, all that kind of stuff. Uh, when a fella does right, it makes me look good. How's that? It shows that what I'm teaching is the right shit. It's based on truth, as I keep telling you fellas. So that proves me right. So of course I care. Now let's add back in the purpose and passion. And that's why I'm very passionate about what I do. All right? He goes on to say, let's see, it means much to you or not, but your channel has made a difference in my life, especially of lately. Keep them coming out. Keep them coming, Supreme, and God bless. He writes, I was also wondering if you could do a video focused on your life and how you evolved into a player. On your previous videos, I found through some videos there were small segments where you talked about your life, and it was extremely motivating and inspiring. A video on your life from high school on, and maybe focusing on also on drugs and how you stayed away from them as well, would be really cool. Just a suggestion. Sorry, just a suggestion. Hope to see a new video response soon. Okay, my high school life. In high school, I was a bookworm. I also had racial inferiority complex because I was smarter than most of the black fellows around me. I'm not as smart as my older brother. He's one of those weird nerds types. Or my little brother, he was up there with him also. In third grade, they took him up to the college level. It was third grade? Yeah, third grade. He had won some kind of award and went to Davis for a little while. Davis University. Some kind of super smart kid thing. Anyway, I was the dummy in the family. But I was a bookworm, so I tried to read books to escape my life. High school for me was very, very bad because I was super, super shy. I couldn't talk to girls. I could talk to the girls that I didn't find attractive, like, many of you guys experience. But the girls that I wanted to go out with, I couldn't talk to them. As I've told the story many, many times, there was a girl named Audrey, I won't say her last name because she's now on my personal Facebook account. I wanted to go to my senior prom, and I used to walk by her house every day after school, hoping she'd be outside, just so I could walk by and say, "Hi, Audrey," and walk on down the street. And I'll go around the corner and stand there for about 10 minutes. Then I'll turn around and come back, hoping that she'd be out there. "Hi, Audrey," and then walk back home. This is way out of my way. Okay, I went to Cordova High School in Rancho Cordova. I lived in White Rock, where a lot of the blacks lived. So, yeah. Then I walk all the way back past the Catholics elementary school, all the way back past the junior high school, then past my high school, then all the way down the street to get to my house. Cross over the railroad tracks into my neighborhood, and then bam. At least it was quite a few miles. Let me say that much. I would sit there in class and I would crush on girls. Sex education was a nightmare for me because I walk out of there with my books in front of my my dick because I wasn't getting none. I was jealous of the athletes because I couldn't play because I had to work. My dad got out of the military and there was no money in the house. I wanted to buy a car, so I went to work. And the coaches were begging me to play. God damn. They once told my older brother, at the time he was 6'4", he wasn't half the athlete I was. He told me that. That broke my fucking heart. Fucking ass coaches. They shouldn't tell people like that. Tell people that shit. Anyway. In high school, as I said, I would crush on girls from, away. I would look at them and I would blink at them and hope they could feel my love. Because I'd fall in love with them. I was a simp, a super simp, a goober. I bought the first book on how to meet girls by Eric Weber, and also bought his phonograph. And in the books I talked about before, he just said, just go out and talk to girls. The one thing I couldn't fucking do. Back then, this new concept came out in marketing called a shopping mall, as I've mentioned many times before. And I would go to the shopping mall and try to get the guts to do cold approaching. You guys think I've never done cold approaching, but I have. I was in the basement for doing this shit before you guys even thought about it, before you guys even born. Okay? And that's how I met my ex-wife in college, cold approaching. But she gave eye contact first. Yeah. Now, here's the deal. I didn't get a girlfriend in high school. I was pissed off. My buddy and I, we went down to 4th and T. I got my shit handled by a prostitute. I was a trick, also. All because I didn't have the guts to walk over and talk to a chick and say, hello, how you doing? What's up? The fellows on campus said, you gotta have a rap, Chris. You gotta have a rap. And they didn't tell me what a rap was. Like I said in other shows. They didn't fucking tell me what the fuck is a rap. And basically a rap is your ability to have rapport and communication with the girl. You get that, you get in the pussy. It's as simple as that. It don't take no fucking rocket science to have a conversation, ask her about herself. I thought it did like a lot of you guys do. I thought it took going from A1 to A2 to A3. And I'm not even left-brained. I'm right-brained. I'm not robotic and logical and methodical and intense. Count your steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not like that. But I thought it took that to get chicks back then. And Eric Weber's book was just all about having a conversation. I ordered his phonograph. He gave conversation examples, pickups on the streets. I look back on it, I realized those were fake. There's no way he could have recorded pickups on the streets, but I thought the shit was real. Like a lot of you guys think a lot of stuff is real that you see on the internet. You know, guys, when they do the PUA photos, where they go out and they take photos with girls, show the girls kissing them or hugging them and stuff. I call those PUA photos. You don't see them getting the pussy. That's what counts. Or getting a phone number don't mean shit. That's nothing. It's getting the pussy that counts. That's the only thing that counts in this game. Is getting the pussy and owning the pussy. At least if you can just get the pussy once. On my level, we own the pussy. Okay? Now, after high school, I went to junior college, and I was practicing in the library at Sacramento City College because I liked intelligent girls. Remember, I was a bookworm. Case in point, I think it was going from 9th to 10th grade. I didn't come out of the house except to go down to the library one summer. I became more, let me go back to high school for a minute. I became more social. I started going to parties because I worked. I saved up enough money to buy a raggedy old car. It was a 67 Riviera Grand Sport, but the motor mount was broken. You step on the gas, you hear the engine rise up, poof, poof, trying to bust out of the hood. So anyway, I sold that, got a Chevelle Super Sport with a 296 Rat motor in it, or 396 Rat motor in it, and her shifter. We were into muscle cars back then. From a guy named Rodriguez, and it was I guess the A-frame was broke on the car. Didn't tell me. And I had sold him my Riviera, so we fucked each other. I didn't tell them either. Actually, I think I just told them it's just a motor mount. I think I did tell them that. Anyway, I sold that and got some cash, and I got a 2 deuce and a quarter. That's a Electra 225. Look it up. They call it the poor man's Cadillac, and that was my car for high school. So I started going to parties and stuff, and I tried to learn how to dance. Those group of guys in my high school, one named Mike Elliott and another one Thomas Livesey. Anyway, we formed like a dance group because the robot came out. Michael Jackson did the robot, that whole thing, and you know, I would try to learn to dance with them. I couldn't hear the beat of music, and I played stage band in 9th grade. I don't know. That's why they turned my guitar down, I guess. So anyway, so I tried to get out there and meet girls, and it was hard going asking girls to dance. I even got a slow dance. My dick got hard. Okay, but go on forward through the misery of my high school years, lonely. I finally made, I made some friends, but I didn't spend a lot of time with friends. I went home and read shit. So anyway, in college, I said, I can't take this, especially after I went to 4th and T here in Sacramento, where the hookers were. By the way, Jovina actually, her and her husband had a house down there too when she had her first son. It was kind of coincident, our lives kept crossing paths over the years. But if you live in Sacramento, you're going to cross people's paths. Anyway, in college, I was practicing meeting girls in the library because I thought the smarter ones would go there. I went to the library, as I usually do, and I was hanging around the parapsychology section. That's study of paranormal stuff. So I want to become a parapsychologist, so I thought. Anyway, I came around the corner, and there was a cute black girl there. I looked at her and she smiled. I smiled back. I didn't know she had just woke up from a nap. I didn't know people would go to the library and sleep. Okay, I never, being a bookworm, the library was like heaven to me. You don't go disrespect heaven. The thought never crossed my mind that a person would sleep in the library. I hadn't seen any students sleep before. So anyway, I hung around that section. I finally walked over, and my opening line, I still remember to this day, was, "Are you interested in parapsychology too?" And I think she said yes, or no. She said, "What is that?" So I started telling her about it. It gave me a chance to talk, and I got her number. I don't remember how I got her number, and we didn't have cell phones back then. We had, in fact, our phone in our house was on the fucking wall, rotary dial. Okay. So I called her up. Eventually, I used to, I practiced, talking to her. "How are you doing?" I would pick up the phone and pretend like I was. It took me a while to call her. I asked her out on a date. I think it was to John Travolta's first movie, or Star Wars. I can't recall which one it was. We saw both of them. And our first date, I also took her to dinner. A place called Eppie's. Eppie's is closed down, I believe, out here. But anyway, we went to the movies. I didn't know she had 2 kids. She said she only had 1. I didn't know she had 2 kids. Anyway, her mother was watching her kids for her. And I remember my first kiss. I walked up to the door, and we talked, and I lifted her chin. I reached down because I saw my dad do that. I just like my dad, and I kissed her. She said it was the worst. She later said it was the worst kiss she ever had. So anyway, that's my life. How I avoided drugs in high school. All of my friends were getting into drugs. All the blacks. I did history research on this stuff, and drugs was being funneled into the black communities, even out here in middle class neighborhoods. Okay, so anyway, all my boys, my friends, they were as I got later on in school, they were smoking weed. Then they got into harder stuff though. I tried weed 3 times. It took 3 times to get me high. And I was at a place called Machinist Hall where, like 1,000 blacks in there, and they had a DJ. DJ music started coming out then also. Before that, DJs weren't really that much around. Okay, it's a new concept, but we loved it. They play the records, and bam, new concept. Discos were coming out. Okay, so anyway, all the blacks were in there, and of course, blacks get together, we start shooting each other. So, the shit hit me, and people were shooting, and my feet felt like they were like the size 50 size instead of, I think I wore a 12 then. Instead of size 12, they're like size 20s, and I'm trying to run with these big clodhopper feet and escape. I was so high, I ran home, ran over a jackrabbit, and started giggling. Hit a cat also, giggled. Like, fuck. Well, actually, I swerved into the cat. I hated cats back then. I know I'm going to get some shit from some pussy males that have cats. Cats don't belong with males, there, fellas. That's feminized. That's the part of the feminization that's happened to you guys. You guys with cats. You guys have been feminized since my youth. And that's been a program that's been going on. You could do your own research. There's books on it. Okay? Don't take my word for it. So anyway, my first girlfriend became my wife. She stopped taking her birth control pills. And back then, if you got a girl pregnant, you married them. Okay? So I got married. I stayed married for about 7-8 years. And I started teaching aerobics. I taught something called heavy hands aerobics. We had weights in our hands. You guys probably Google heavy hands aerobics. Anyway, I taught a combination because I was also a martial artist in high school. That's the one thing I could do, at least get some kind of athletic stuff in me. It was a combination of martial arts, kickboxing, and so just some basic moves for aerobic class. I had no beat. I didn't even know how to stay on beat back then. I taught myself all that stuff. And I became a master's class instructor. Okay, I was on the cover of one of the companies that was selling, actually the company that was selling heavy hands. I was on the cover of their brochures and stuff. Anyway, teaching aerobics allowed me access to all the pretty girls, because pretty girls back then were coming to aerobic classes. Models. This idiot named Jordo, or some guy named on my old channel, was saying, "Let's see the proof." And I didn't take photos back then. Okay, but if you think logically, what type of girls take aerobics classes? I mean, duh. And of course they're gonna admire the instructor. Duh. Stupid ass, whatever his name is on my old channel, and then that Jordo idiot. I made him a special video last night. Call me a racist. Jesus. So anyway, I started. I had a leg up in the game basically because I was the instructor. Women fucking flocked to you when you got you're wearing tights. You got the package in the front and shit like that, and they see the roundness of your ass. Women flock to you. Okay, they flock to you. I was dating openly 2 white chicks named Susan. One Susie and Susan. Okay, both of them were aerobic instructors. You guys see what aerobic instructors look like. All right. I fucked a lot of instructors, and I fucked a lot of students. But it wasn't real game, though. I didn't start going to real game until I started going to the nightclubs. Because I was tired of girls in my class that were pissed off at me. Okay, it was killing my business. I still kept... There were 4 girls in my class that I was sleeping with on a regular basis. Okay? One of them later committed suicide. But it was after me. It was about a year after me. Anyway, that's part of my life story. And I'll talk about more if I'm running out of time here. So anyway, I hope it fills in some of the gaps for you fellas. I had to grow my game the hard way. I started going to the nightclubs. I didn't really even know how to dance in the nightclub. I taught myself how to dance. I taught myself how to have courage to walk over and talk to a girl again and ask her to dance, just like in high school. I didn't go to dances, but at the parties, black parties. So anyway, so I had to grow my game the hard way because nobody knew me. Nobody knew me.